Forest. It's Savona who makes it 2-1. 2 goals in as many minutes. What a turnaround it is!
The feeling around Old Trafford this season has been one of perpetual, nerve-shredding instability. For a brief, intoxicating period, it felt like something had shifted. A 3-game winning streak, a precious commodity in the current climate, had built a fragile momentum.
Of course, the new ground that we're treading here under Ruben Amorim. Does this feel particularly significant, Gary? 3 on the bounce.
It feels like his best week in the job. Going into the international break in October, I felt as though that change could be imminent, but the victory at Anfield, and it shows you how things can turn around, and then obviously this was so important today. Look, this has been a very important week for the manager and for the club, and you could see the celebration at the end there was more than just a little bit, I think, of relief that, yeah, we needed this badly.
United beat Sunderland.
Manchester United, and Burmo gets the cross in, finds Mason Mount! Mason Mount! Brilliant finish from the edge of the penalty area!
Took down Brighton.
Eden Heaven, going to fight this back. Brian Mbeumo in the penalty area, finishes it off! No nerves now! Brian Mbeumo smashes home at the Stretford end for his 5th of the season and seals all 3 points!
And most incredibly, United secured a vital away win at Anfield against Liverpool.
Bruno Fernandes with the left wing corner for Manchester United. Pulls it low to Brian Mbeumo, takes a big deflection. I thought it had carried it goalwards, puts it towards the back post. Harry Maguire! Manchester United's big game player does it again! And who else? Harry Maguire!
The air, for once, was thick with cautious hope. That 3-game streak, however, was ended abruptly by a dramatic, infuriating 2-2 draw with Nottingham Forest at the City ground.
So Ruben, we have to settle for a point here at Nottingham Forest. How do you reflect on that game?
I think we lost control of the game for 5 minutes and we paid the price. I felt that the level of energy was not the same compared to the last game.
And that draw pulls one of the most persistent threads of this season back into the spotlight, their terrible away record.
And that sometimes when you play away, you can feel that, and we need to manage that and to put everything there. When I say everything, they gave everything, and you could see it in the game, but in the small details, the energy was not the same, and we have to work on that.
The statistics are damning. Before the Forest game, United's away form in the Premier League for the 2025/2026 season stood at just 1 win, 1 draw, and 2 losses from 4 matches. A truly pathetic return for a club with Champions League ambitions. The only victory, that fantastic hard-fought 2-1 win against Liverpool. But context is everything. That result appears now less a turning point, and more a magnificent, solitary aberration. Away trips to Fulham, Manchester City and Brentford all yielded disappointing results. A draw and 2 comprehensive losses. It's a recurring psychological block. At home, under the Old Trafford lights, they thrive. Away from the theatre of dreams, they crumble. The game at Nottingham Forest became a perfect microcosm of why that away record is so bad, highlighting the team's deepest-rooted issues, player mentality, and a fragile defence. United went into the break leading 1-0 thanks to a first-half goal from Casemiro, one of the few veterans consistently performing this season.
Forest last week at Bournemouth, and they paid the price then, and they paid the price today. Casemiro. Well, Sean Dyche was absolutely furious a week ago when a corner was wrongly given at Bournemouth, and the Cherry scored from it, and the same thing has happened today.
The team looked controlled, professional, and well on their way to a 4th consecutive win and a clear statement of intent. But the second half brought a calamitous, instantaneous collapse. Forest didn't just score an equaliser.
Gibbs White! His first Premier League goal of the season to equalise for Nottingham Forest. What a ball, what a header. It's 1-1 inside 3 minutes of the second half.
They scored 2 goals in the space of just 5 devastating minutes.
Is there. It's loose, it's in! Phenomenal from Nottingham Forest. It's Savona makes it 2-1.
Two strikes, so close together that utterly decapitated United's confidence. This quick, unforgiving comeback from the opposition has been a signature theme of United's worst periods. It speaks volumes about the players' mentality. As soon as they concede, there is no resilience, no leader to steady the ship, just a collective panicked retreat that leaves the defensive lines exposed and their midfield disconnected. It exposes a defensive fragility that is deeper than just the back four. It is a systematic issue that starts from the first sign of pressure. The team seems to play well until a moment of adversity hits, and then they have no answer, resulting in heavy defeats or, in this case, a dropped 2 points. But here is where we must draw a vital line of distinction, one that offers a glimmer of light and speaks to the subtle, hard-fought progress under manager Ruben Amorim. Let's compare this moment to the previous season. Last term, under similar pressure and following a poor run, such an instantaneous 2-goal concession would have been catastrophic. A team defeat would have followed, and most likely, a heavier one. We saw it repeatedly, a soft goal conceded, followed by a mental capitulation that saw the goal difference plummet as the team gave up.
Slaps this through to Wissa. Wissa gets it across. Chance. Goal.
Last season, that 2-goal Forest comeback would have been the end of the match. United's head would have dropped, and they would have lost by 3 or 4 goals. They were mentally at the worst after getting hit with adversity, leading to their lowest Premier League finish in the modern era. This time, it was different. This season, after Forest went 2-1 up, something clicked. The mentality, while initially flawed, held. The players built and fought back. It wasn't immediate, but in the 81st minute, the talented Ivorian winger Amad Diallo produced a moment of magic, an extraordinary equalising volley to make it 2-2.
Comes out to Amad. Amad fires home. Oh, it's a screamer from the Ivorian. Thumps it in left-footed on the volley from the edge of the D. That's a piece of magic from Amad. Unbelievable, and it's 2-2 against Nottingham Forest. Right on cue.
The final 10 minutes, far from being a time of surrender, became a period of frantic, determined attack, culminating in a shot by Diallo in stoppage time that was only narrowly cleared off the line. The draw was disappointing, yes, but the fight back wasn't. Amorim himself noted this critical shift in the post-match conference. In the past, if we had this kind of bad 5 minutes and we suffered 2 goals, we didn't recover. Today is a different feeling. You can sense that we could not win this game, but we are not going to lose, and that is a feeling that a big team sometimes has to have.
Comparing the recent past that we had, some games that these big bad moments, we struggle so much more than today. We managed to control the emotions, to put the ball on the ground and try to push the opponent to the final third. We managed to score. We had a big opportunity in the end, but we lost 2 points, and that is the feeling. But again, we have the next week to work and to try to get these points in another stadium.
That quote from the manager leads us directly to the palpable shift in the dressing room atmosphere and the faith the players have in the new regime. In his post-match comments, Amad Diallo echoed this sentiment of trust, not just in himself, but in the system.
Yeah, we learn from this, we learn from today, and then try to do the best next time, because we think in the second half we give them too easily goal. But yeah, like I say, we learn from this and then try to do the best next time.
The players are starting to internalise the tactical ideas of Ruben Amorim. After last season's chaos, Amorim's structured approach, even when producing mixed results, provides a clear plan to execute, which the players, particularly the attacking talents like Diallo, Mbeumo and Cunha, are beginning to execute with confidence. The public backing is clear. Even after a difficult loss like the one to Brentford a few weeks prior, the players stood by the coach. The consensus among the squad is that the structure is working. They just need to execute the fundamentals at a higher level, especially in critical moments and in away games. This trust in Amorim is crucial. He has been given the summer to reshape the attack and build a team in his image. and now the players are seeing flickers of that vision. They believe the tactical foundation is being set, and the process simply requires time and consistent application.
It's like I say, you know, everyone have like this full confidence on him. He's someone that pushes us forward. He needs to be a little bit more happy now. He always is someone that is very stressful to start to win and then improve every single day. But of course, he deserves this. The team deserves this. The United, it's like I always say, need to be back to the way to wins, and then this need to be the normal for this club. And yeah, I'm so happy to be part of this.
The fight back against Forest, a point salvaged, a defeat avoided, is a significant, if small, validation of that belief. So, where does this dramatic 2-2 draw leave the team? Manchester United are currently standing in 7th place in the Premier League table after 10 matches. They have 17 points, tied with Tottenham Hotspur, Chelsea and Sunderland, in what is becoming an incredibly tight, chaotic battle for the European spots. This position is a massive improvement on last season's finish, which saw them out of all European competitions for the first time in years. However, 7th place is simply not enough for the self-styled biggest club in England. The immediate and unwavering hope of United is to fight for a Champions League place. With 5 wins, 2 draws and 3 losses, they are very much in the congested pack. The race for the top 4 is wide open this year, with no single team, outside of perhaps an on-form Arsenal, seizing control. The key to achieving this goal lies squarely in their ability to fix their away form. They have a handful of crucial away games coming up, at Tottenham, at Crystal Palace, and at Everton. These fixtures, historically a nightmare for United, now represent their greatest opportunity. If Amorim can continue to instill the kind of fighting mentality we saw in the final 10 minutes against Forest, and if the players can find the maturity and defensive solidity they display at Old Trafford on the road, then Champions League qualification is still absolutely within reach. The Forest draw was a clear warning, but also a quiet encouragement. It shattered the winning streak and brutally exposed the fundamental flaw in the team's mental blueprint. Yet, in the face of disaster, the team refused to die. The questions remain, but the answers are clearer. Can this team sustain tactical excellence? Can the mentality hold when the heat is on away from home? Can the defense turn fleeting fragility into consistent fortitude? The season is still young, but the race is on. United has the structure, they have the talent, and they finally appear to have a collective will to fight. Now, they must turn that fighting spirit into results on a consistent, week-by-week basis. The fate of their season and the long-term project under Amorim rests on it.